Screen Rant is at it again, and today we're going to be talking about literally their clickbaity stuff. And dear God, is it really, really bad that they don't really... It's basically really slow days. So what am I doing? I'm reacting to this, and I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions because I think this is a really just weird thing to kind of talk about. If you're new here, my name is Mark. I make Power Ranger content as well as other stuff at times. But if you like what you see, hit like, favorite, comment, and maybe if you want, join the channel membership for more top quality content. So we're going to jump over right now and we're going to look at what Screen Rant has been talking about for about, I think, maybe 3 articles to see if we can get them all in one because, hey, I don't want to be here all day recording content on Screen Rant. Bad journalism. Anyway, let's jump straight over. Now, if you're not familiar with Screen Rant, they basically read the comics like most Power Rangers fan. But what they do is they take the comic books and go, this is just like the 90s stuff. Let's time to talk about it. Hence, this title right here. Power Rangers finally admits a problem with the 90s Blue Ranger. Now, previously, in other people talking about this, they have turned around and said, oh, this is something completely different. This is the modern day stuff. So you're kind of wondering, what was the problem with Billy? What did he do? What has he done, like, with everything? No one knows. What thing can they talk about? Is it bad weaponry? Is it bad whatever? Who the hell knows? The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers resident tech genius is the smartest member of the team, but Blue Ranger Billy Cranston is still a teenager. That's it. I have just read that all to you. So I think it's a massive slow day for them. So the main thing is that they talk about this, they talk about Boom Studios, they go over a few things like, oh, this is what Billy is, like Billy's a tech genius. Billy knows a lot of stuff. And it's just this article here. So apparently Grace has found ruins on Earth and, through her company or through her thing. So it basically says like, Billy goes, why didn't you say anything? And Grace just replies, I don't need to run every discovery Promethea makes by teenager Billy. It doesn't matter. This doesn't change anything. Unfortunately, it does. You cannot leave, Tommy, says Zordon. So out of all of this entire article, which probably was AI generated or they wrote a small amount. And sorry, the Buffy thing just caught my eye. Spike calls out Buffy fans for totally misunderstanding Dark Willow. Okay, that's something I don't want to touch because I haven't watched Buffy in a long time. But anyway, basically what this just means is that Billy is still a teenager. He effectively he's not an adult, but yet he's super smart. So kind of going like looking over this, like it says here, both in comics and the original TV series, Billy is treated as the smartest person in any room. But while that may be the case when compared to the other kids his age, the Blue Ranger is ultimately just still a kid. No, he's a teenager. If he was 9, if he was 10 or 11, yeah, he's still a kid. He's a teenager. It's just, it's just like the whole thing of like, he's just a kid. And it's just like, no, he's a fucking teenager. Is it? Billy is definitely the brains of the original Power Rangers, creating many of the gadgets like the wrist communicators. He's also served as a technical advisor for the team, officially retiring as a Ranger. Billy may be the smartest among his team of Power Rangers, but that doesn't automatically put him on par with the world's class scientist and a full-grown adult like Grace Sterling. Now, don't get me wrong, and if you've read the comic books, you can probably tell me, but I imagine that Billy's smarter than Grace in this. Like, there's multiple things. Like, that's what I imagine, and that's how I've kind of interpreted the comics, that Billy is a genius. Now, I don't know if Grace is a genius as well, because everything that I've just seen her do in the comic books is either look after Prometheus, like try and steal tech or whatever. Now, I probably will go over the comics, so I want to do a massive read since I haven't read the comic books in such a long time. But from my gathering on this, I found that, Grace isn't as smart as Billy. She's smart, but she's not as smart as Billy. So I don't know why they're writing this entire article. Even when we look at here, so Power Rangers' best villain wasn't from Super Sentai. While the Power Rangers franchise is still full of iconic villains, one of its antagonists does not hail from the show's present series Super Sentai. again, this was posted 3 days. This is the 9th of April. So again, like, this is when I'm recording it, basically. So you kind of like, when I looked at this, I was like, why is Rita and Goldar there? They're both from the Sentai. Lo and behold, guess what? Something that we've all fucking known for the last 30 years. What's that? Oh, it's Lord Zed. It's Lord Zed. He's not from the Sentai. Why is there an article about Lord Zed? Now, I can imagine the fact that Once and Always, and people are going to be looking for Once and Always stuff, so they're going to find Screen Rant. But you kind of think that if you're going to be doing stuff like this, put him in the fucking picture, because people will then know. It just feels really fucking strange that they're writing about Lord Zed like this is the first time that anyone's done it. Hey, Power Ranger fans, did you know Lord Zed was not in the Sentai? Holy shit, I didn't know. What? That's how I imagine this is how they're thinking. Oh, there's fucking Power Ranger fans. Now again, this could be aimed at people who didn't know, and people that don't know about Power Rangers, that just watched Mighty Morphin Season 1 and then just left on the merry way. Who knows? I don't know. Do you know? Please let me know in the comments. But when I kind of see all of this, I just feel like these articles are like the most generic, boring ones. Oh, look, he's back in Cosmic, in Dino Fury. Yes, he is. Like, I just feel that, you know, you could easily turn around and put this in here. You know, it's like, as the first new villain of Power Rangers, Lord Zed has been a hallmark antagonist of the series for years. This is largely because his introduction allowed the series producers to take the show in a different direction, even while following the main plot of the Japanese counterpart. See, when Lord Zed came in, it kind of deviated from Jew Ranger and stuff. So I wouldn't say that. Again, a little bit more research, you could have pretty much written into it. To distinguish Power Rangers from Super Sentai, Lord Zed changed the tone by the show by upping the ante for what Power Rangers villain could be. The respect and fear he commanded brought, however, to the show, and has a darker gothic design that seemed more like muscle and bone, signaled that the Power Rangers would be challenged like never before. And again, yeah, like Lord Zed was something completely different. But when I kind of look into this, I just feel like this article falls completely fucking flat. Like, it just doesn't say anything. It's like, oh shit, Rita's meant to be in there. Goldar's meant. Like, you kind of think that you would give a bit more to then clickbait things. Okay, so this is the next one. The Power Rangers reinvented the 90s Pink Ranger with a new name and weapon 4 days ago. But again, Ranger Slayer has been out for what, years? Ranger Slayer was, I think, introduced the July in 2020. So again, why the fuck are you writing an article on Kimberly? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Now, if there was something like a huge new arc coming that people had forgotten about Ranger Slayer, and they haven't, because Ranger Slayer is 100% a very popular character. I think it's the best version of Kimberly. I really like the design. It's one of my favorite characters. Hell, I have artwork on my wall of her in her Ranger gear, and it's absolutely fantastic. I bought multiple ones because I like the artwork. Ranger Slayer to me is actually a very decent character. But what I don't understand is, why are you writing a fucking article on this? Like, the Power Rangers franchise is no stranger to a Ranger going bad, but when the Pink Ranger crossed that threshold, it solidified her status as one of the team's strongest members. Rangers turning evil has become a reoccurring trope across the various television series and the comic book, dating all the way back to the mind-controlling Tommy serving as the evil Green Ranger. Under Rita Repulsa joined the first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. However, he is far from the only Ranger gone bad. Now, the only reason why Rangers are a lot stronger when they're evil is they don't give a shit. They're going to attack. They're going to go straight for you. No one cares when you're evil. So it just kind of goes on about this whole thing of from the moment forward, Kimberly becomes the Ranger Slayer, a ruthless right-hand woman who exists to solely hunt down other Rangers for Draken and anyone who opposes him. Equipped with the power bow of the bow of darkness, she makes her debut in the final page of Go Go Power Rangers, issue 8 by Ryan. So Go Go was done so many years ago. And it's just like, why? Like, it feels again like this is a massive slow day that they just have to write about everything. There's nothing there. Like, everyone knows how Ranger Slayer was. Everyone does it. So yeah, just looking at all these articles, there's a problem with the 90s Blue Ranger. What problem? Oh, then there's a villain that's not in Super Sentai. And then you've got the 90s, like, Ranger Slayers. It just fucking doesn't make sense why Screen Rant's doing all this. Now, I get that you want to have people come in and click. Like, it's stuff like the Power Rangers reinvented the 90s Pink Ranger with a new name and weapon. Like, yeah, okay, you kind of did. But it just feels like this is the first time someone's found it. It's like, oh my god, like, it's done. 2 years ago, this was done. And the time I read this recording in 2023, 20 years ago, 2 years ago, this was all done. I just, stop with these whole things like, there's a problem with the Blue Ranger and that we finally addressed. You did this all with the turtle shit, and then you turn around and said the power bow was the best weapon, and the fact is Kimberly was the best person because long range weapons at work, which fucking don't, by the way, just saying that. Effectively for a while, but again, you want fucking power swords. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there because I just want to rant more. And I don't want to. I'll be repeating my same questions. So again, same things I'm saying anyway. But yeah, I just really wish that Screen Rant would do proper research, actually write proper articles that is more engaging than stuff that we've known for like 2 years now. They made a toy figure. I guarantee they'll probably write an article. Did you know that the 90s Did you know that the 90s Pink Ranger gets a brand new figure? And it's Ranger Slayer, which has been out for fucking yonks. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. What are your thoughts about this? What do you think about Screen Rant in general? Do you like them? Do you not? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm gonna leave it there. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you want. Join the channel membership. It would be absolutely greatly appreciated. I cannot say that word. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and I wanted to shout out Kimono Cat. Your help does go a long way to support the channel, and if you want to consider helping the channel, then links to my Patreon as well as the channel members are listed below. あらあら、チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。